Well, guys, they're only stock once and for only so long. The R1 is about to start getting pulled apart because there you go. Graves 3/4 system for this Yamaha R1 just made it in. And I want to show you guys just the quality of welds on this thing. We've got titanium mid pipe, titanium pipe going into the can. And I got to tell you, I need to get the name of the robot that put these welds down on this pipe. Top-notch quality, as you would expect, considering what it costs. Pretty familiar looking can here. Where have I seen that before? Anyway, stoked for this to come in. Cannot wait to get this on the R1. Oh yeah, and by the way, as this is titanium, it's crazy light. I don't even think this counts as weight. I mean, it feels like nothing in your hand. So yeah, total weight savings with roughly, what is that? 6 pounds worth of Blair Witch Project going on over here. You're looking at a total of about 20 pounds coming out of this thing. So we're going to get that stock exhaust off of there, get the ECU sent off for reprogramming. Oh, this thing's going to be awesome. Can't wait to bring it to you guys. So guys, we're just going to dive right into this thing. I had initially planned on putting the stock R1 up against the GSX-R 750, but the more I thought about it, the more that I thought that would end up looking pretty disrespectful to the GSX-R 750 because, well, you may have seen the video where I put my R9 up against the GSX-R 750 and with, well, as it was pointed out to me by my good friend Orange Crush, with about a 15-ish horsepower difference, that GSX-R 750 ran out of the life of my R9. And with roughly double that difference between a stock R1 and as well prepped of a Gixxer 750 as we've got, it's not going to look good. So in lieu of all that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into the R1. We're going to get the exhaust put on, get the O2s removed, basically strip this thing down, get the ECU off to get reflashed, and hopefully here soon enough, we'll be able to hear this thing fire up. Might have to do it, even though I'll have it all pulled apart. You got to hear it, right? And it's an R1, so you know it's going to sound amazing. But anyway, giving you guys an update as I'm going along here. All right, guys, before we start in on pulling this guy apart, I am going to do an oil change while I'm here. We got about 300 miles on the bike, but she's got quite a few heat cycles through her. Yeah, it's about time to go ahead and call her good on getting her broken in, although we're still going to go pretty cool with her once it's tuned and piped and all of that. We'll get her through about 600 or 800 miles, then really start leaning on her. But, you know, I don't really cater to the whole be sweet to her too much anyway during break-in. Aside from all of that, let me tell you what I'm doing over here. So I'm getting some tools ready to go. We've got our oil ready. We got a 2x4 to act as a tank prop. We've got our old school ice tray to act as our fastener holder. Got the oil filter, got our torque wrench. Shout out to Yamaha for using an old school aluminum crush washer instead of those weird ones that some other folks use. Anyway, bringing you guys along for the ride as I am getting this thing ready to get torn apart. Oh, and here we go, guys. Step one out of the way, got the heel guard off. I guess this makes it official, huh? I'm diving into it. All right, guys, so trucking right along here. Just pulled the V-band off of the silencer. Man, I gotta tell you, it's put together really nice, but it's gotta go. Plus, all this is gonna start adding up pretty quickly. And when I say adding up, I mean in terms of weight. So the stock can itself, it's pretty lightweight. Definitely just a straight through design. It just goes to show how restrictive that factory system is, especially in terms of sound, if not in terms of actual flow capacity. And look, that thing is just already looking. So check this out, guys. If you've never seen the inside of these valved systems, check this out. Now that little bitty hole right down in here, that's kind of like your bypass hole. That butterfly, that's where the main action happens. When that thing starts to open up, see if I can do this while I'm holding everything down. Okay, so when you're idling or at low power, low RPM, all your exhaust is just coming through that little bitty pee hole right here. But when you start getting on it, that thing opens up, gives you all of your flow. But if you're not on it, you got no flow, right? So anyway, that's how that system works. You've got a bypass, kind of a little thumb-sized hole over here that your exhaust is coming through. And then when you go to get after it, that's when that thing opens up. Ouch. All right, guys, next we got to grab our 17 millimeter and get not one, but 2 oxygen sensors out of that factory pipe. Next, go grab that 10 millimeter, start lightening up that clamp. This one over here has got to go too. A couple of bolts hold the factory system in place. Just press the rear brake pedal down to get that out with your 6 millimeter. And then this side, don't have anything to move out of the way. And then I've got the jack underneath here just in case this thing, once I start taking bolts out, you don't want it to just be dangling off the headers. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to slide everything back in one motion. Oh, found this little guy in here playing hide and go seek. Let's get her out of there. And there we go, guys. With a couple of wiggles and a couple of jiggles, this monstrosity popped right out. Super easy. All right, guys. Well, with just this thing on, I don't know, whatever you want to call this, look at that, 22 pounds. That's not even with the can. Hang on. Okay, so with all of the stuff on the scale, we're looking right at 25 pounds. And that doesn't include this miscellaneous bucket of stuff. All right, guys, trucking right along. There's really not the greatest of instructions with this setup, but the Graves kit will need you to remove the insert that goes into this factory mounting bracket and use the insert that they give you, and that's going to offset the pipe so that it will fit properly as it's designed. But anyway, you remove that thing, replace it, and then grab your 10 millimeter and tighten her down. From here, guys, we've got to get that X-Up motor exalted, excluded, exonerated, whatever the right word is. We got to get that thing out of there. So we're just going to start removing basically this. You got a plastic cover here and this cover here. Just a couple of Phillips heads. Those little pop rivets will pop right out. We can start getting in there and grabbing all of that out of there. All right, guys, so now that we've got those covers out of here, we've got to get that servo motor removed. We've already disconnected the clip. Now the problem is I've actually got a servo buddy, but it's for a Suzuki. And unfortunately, we can't fire this thing up with the servo disconnected. It'll piss off the ECU. So I'm going to go ahead and keep rocking and rolling with this install. But to be honest with you, the hard part's pretty much out of the way. We've disconnected that X-Up valve. Now it's just a matter of unbolting this thing, yanking everything out, and well, pretty much running through the rest of the process of getting that exhaust installed. But you know what? I still got to do an oil change, and I've got to get all the plastics off of this thing. We got to remove the O2s, or all kinds of stuff. Plus, we got to get the ECU shipped out. So, unfortunately, won't be able to hear it, but this will get you past any of the hard stuff that you may have run into along the way. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and button it up. Made it this far into the video, consider smashing that subscribe button. Helps me out a ton, guys, but I got to get back to work. Y'all take it easy.